You're watching the Battered Fans Network.
The heroes are back. Messi plays football with 10 on his back. Messi, 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 Messi goes, Messi great, Messi, 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 Leo Messi is the best. Messi, 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 football Messi, soccer Messi, 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 quality in the final third. Messi, 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 link up play, run in space. Messi, 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 football analysis, compact defense. Messi, 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 overlapping runs, high press. Messi, 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 high line, tiki taka. Messi, 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 Messi.
No question about it. I am ready to get hurt again.
Chris, Darren's back. Welcome, everybody, to episode number 475 of the Battle Heroes Podcast. I'm your host, Darren Garnett. Alongside me, as always, Mr. KBD. How are you doing, sir?
I am happy to be back. This is going to start off a beautiful 2026, my friends.
Happy New Year, sir. I mean, you were on with us for a
New
couple
Year's.
minutes on January 1st, but for the most part, Happy New Year.
Yeah, Happy New Year formally here on the show. Yeah, man, it was a blast. I was able to enjoy New Year's away a little bit. By the way, Pat and Gino's cheesesteak sandwich is so overrated.
You think so?
I can't even. Oh, absolutely. The worst.
I like Gino's. And I like the Wiz. I thought it was
Gino's
really
was better than Pat's.
Yeah, I didn't
Gino's
like
was
Pat's.
better than Pat's, hands down. But Pat's, it's sad because Pat's is like the originator, supposedly, of I missed you so much, Soccer Daddy. You wouldn't even. I thought about you at least 4 times, not more than Pedri though. I thought about him like 6 times. Okay, Pat's is supposed to be like the originator of the cheesesteak sandwich.
Yeah.
So like, what's going on there, Pat? You need to step it up.
Yeah. Yeah, everybody talks about yes, and Chris was in Philly, and everybody talks about how the Gino and Pat's is the touristy Philly cheesesteak spot, which I liked going there. I thought it was interesting to have 2 cheesesteak spots that are literally facing each other, which is pretty interesting.
Yeah.
But yeah, you got to go to North Philly or South Philly and get yourself a cheesesteak, is what everybody says. But shout out to Ruita. She said she prefers the old intro. That wasn't the new intro. For those of you that were around last year, we made an episode and at least an intro song where people were saying that we weren't talking about Messi enough. So the next podcast we came out with that intro. Chris hasn't been able to put his final touches because Chris is a perfectionist. So he hasn't been able to put the final touches on the intro. So instead of rushing it, we decided to just kind of throw out an old gem. We found that really funny, and I hope that you guys enjoyed a little bit also. I saw some people were typing in along with the song, but that isn't the new intro. Hopefully we got it ready to rock and roll by Wednesday. But Chris, like I said, is a perfectionist, but I have heard it. I told him to just drop it already. He said that it's not ready. I thought it was ready, but whatever.
It's not ready.
Yeah, I liked it. I like it though. So, but hopefully by Wednesday we'll have that. But anyway,
Yes.
we're here to talk. Like you said, 2026 should be a beautiful year. We got a lot of things cooking. And well, let's start.
Well,
Chris, you weren't here. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of want to bring up the fact that Inter Miami is just coming through and just taking names down and just St. Clair, bam, like this week, boom, Muda. Like it's just back-to-back confirmations. Like this week is pretty huge.
Yeah. A lot of news gonna drop this week. You weren't here with me yesterday. So I did a show Sunday morning with the Mikael news, kind of was confirmed late Saturday. So on Sunday morning, I came on here and I did a Mikael episode. And I believe, and correct me if I'm wrong, maybe you recognize the name, Chris, but we had somebody named Luis Barrios join us. And that, a.k.a. Adam Schefter, a.k.a. reporter guy.
I watched that episode, and he has been on the show before that episode. Yes.
Well,
I
he
don't know
just
about
started.
dropping all those gems because he
He
just
just
kept on
started like
dropping them.
bang, bang, bang. We're getting this guy. We're
Yeah.
signing that guy. That guy's staying. That guy's going. And I was like, whoa, whoa, whoa. But then he kind of killed it at the end because he said Obando's staying and Obando's gonna play a
You're
lot. So then I
cooking,
was like,
J
well,
Stubbs.
maybe he's full of crap because when he hit me with that Obando thing, I wasn't sure how accurate it is. But if he's accurate, man, that's a lot of things that are coming this week. But shout out to Luis Barrios. I told him to DM me and he never did. So I really wanted to get to the bottom of all this nitty gritty, but he did not DM me, so we don't know if what he's saying is really accurate. But we are here to talk about what we do know about the roster so far.
Yes.
And so far, without anything else, without any other additions, I already think that there's a conversation about this possibly being better than last year's roster already. And remember, last year's roster was pretty good. We won the MLS Cup. And Luis went into hiding. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. Being pretty good. And we'll see because I think that the best thing about the roster coming up isn't so much the roster, but it's the guy pulling the strings. And it's Mascherano. Because I felt like he finally came into his own towards the end of the season. And that to me only spells good things coming in the future because we now have an experienced coach. Last year, I was upset about Mascherano being hired because we had to go through the growing pains and we were trying to win trophies. And we got to deal with growing pains as a first-time head coach of a club. And I really didn't want to go through that. But that's it. We already went through that. We ended up with the MLS Cup anyway. But this year, that's it. We got a coach that has an MLS Cup under his belt. I all good things coming in 2026.
Well, I mean, Rubita's mentioning something here. It's too many defensive players. What about a striker with two good legs? That's kind of scary, right? I mean, we're talking about like that. We're making these defensive replacements, which is great, right? But and then King C saying have it replaced again this goal contributions. And then Soccer Daddy saying I haven't heard a single thing about Blackman leaving Vancouver and joining
Soccer
Miami.
Daddy's actually in Vancouver, I believe. So Soccer Daddy would probably have a little bit of inklings of what's going on.
Well, I mean, Soccer Daddy, you better be careful because Vancouver is falling apart as we speak. Like,
and we're going to talk about that on the MLS show at 10 o'clock. If you guys want to hear about other MLS news, battered MLS fans at 10 o'clock, we'll be talking about that.
They don't want to win again. They don't want to be winners anymore, according to the moves that they're making. They're the Marlins, Vancouver Marlins.
Yep. So Sean Callahan seems to be annoyed that we're talking about this possibly being the best team ever again. Give me a topic. What do you want us to talk about, Sean? Tell me what you want to talk about. And then Betty saying Wilfred Nazi sacked by Celtic in 36 days.
Yes, we're cooking, guys.
We're trying to get also.
We're trying to see if we can get somebody from Celtic land to come
on our MLS show. Yeah.
On the MLS show and talk with us about this Wilfred Nancy madness.
Walter, what's going on, Walter? I haven't seen you in forever. Walter. Yeah, no. Shout out to Crackball, but no.
Those that's ridiculous.
Those rumors ridiculous. No, they're not true. Well, he said second half. Okay, well, I don't know what's going on in the second half. Nobody big is coming out.
Mundo. We are fucking champions.
All right. So, even though Sean Callahan doesn't want me to, we're going to talk about comparing this year's roster to last year's roster. I'm sorry, that's what we're doing. Are you ready, Soccer? Sean, because that's what we're doing today.
Yes.
So,
and I'm ready for it. I'm fully ready for it.
Oh, and by the way, 47 days until kickoff, 89 days until Miami Freedom Park. And Chris, I don't know if you noticed, but we got the star above the logo now.
I do see it, and it looks majestic. Oh, it looks majestic.
Such a beautiful thing. I'm ready to get another star. All right. So here we go. This was the best 11 for us last year. This was the winning 11 for us last year. We had Messi up top, right, as a false nine. We had Allende right wing. We had Sbetti left wing. We had our central midfielders, Baltasar Rodriguez and Rodrigo De Paul. We had our pivot with Busquets. And then on the back line, we had Alba, Noah Allen, Falcon, Ian Frey. And our goalkeeper was Rocco Blocco. Am I missing anybody from our best 11?
I mean, best 11, I mean, it is arguable if you want to swap out Baltasar with like someone else in the midfield, like a Segovia or a Bright. I mean, you could do a Noah Allen deal and Falcone, one of the two, with like I don't know, like an Ian Frey. I mean, not an Ian Frey with Tomas Aviles. I don't know. I mean, you can kind of cycle around and put Suarez somewhere, because regardless about his performance in terms of striking last year, he was a big difference maker. I mean, those are the only arguables I can think of. Yeah, I mean, look, Boss Daddy is saying right here, Segovia, Saga
But
Daddy
instead of who,
mentioned
though?
Suarez. Well, I mean, who? I mean, let's go through it, right?
Because you have to. It's the best 11, right? You got to take somebody out.
Well, I mean, if you go Suarez, you got to take out Silvetti, right? Just for the simple fact that Silvetti hasn't had enough time or whatever. So you put Allende on that side, put Messi back on the right, and put Suarez up at the top. And then Baltasar, replace him with Segovia? Like,
Yeah,
who do you
that's
think performed
ultimately what you
better?
would see. That's what you would be saying, because that was the sub, right? Baltasar always came off for Segovia. It was like
Yeah,
it was like they were doing the running back by committee in the NFL.
yeah. So I mean,
Baltasar-
I don't see anybody mentioning defenders. So Segovia over Belisario, absolutely. Segovia over Belisario. Are you kidding
Let me tell
me?
you something. That's gonna kill me so much that Belisario Machuca is leaving. All right, so this was, in my opinion, the best 11. You could argue Segovia over Baltasar, I guess. You could say, oh shit, James Rodriguez is joining Columbus Crew. The Saudi League losing credibility. We don't know if the James thing is 100% true yet, unless it just broke while we've been on here. But back to this. So starting 11, Baltasar Rodriguez out, Segovia in for him. Okay. As Suarez in, Silvetti out. Okay, that's fine. But going off, this was the starting 11 at the MLS Cup, right? This is who we won the chip with.
Yes.
Now, when you take out everybody that will probably not be a starter on opening day, this is what it looks like. Boom. Okay. From the starting
what
11
did you just
on our
do?
championship game,
What did you just do?
these were the starters
Yes.
when we won the MLS Cup. Yes or no?
Yes.
That was the
Yes.
starting 11.
Yes.
On opening day, in 47 days, when we open up the season against, I forgot who it is already, the first game of the season, but when we open up the season against LAFC, these are the only ones that are left.
I mean, what'd you do with Ian Frey?
What, he's going to be on the bench, right? Isn't Facundo Mura probably starting over him?
I mean, that's what we're going to talk about. No,
That's what we're going to talk about right now. But
yes,
hypothetically, this is what we're looking at right now.
Okay. All right. Okay.
All right. Does anybody disagree? I think that this is what we're looking at right now. Now, as you can tell, real quick, I left Messi on there, obviously. Silvetti, U22, obviously. Rodrigo de Paul, our second DP, obviously. Falcon, our best defender the second half of the year, obviously. And as you can tell, I left Allende there. According to Michelle Kaufman, he's coming back. And according to other people that are just talking, he probably is coming back. My fear is that he's coming back as a DP. A lot of people are saying that he's not coming as a DP. Now, how that's possible, the only thing I can think of is that he gets sold to another club
and then loaned again.
And then loaned back to us. Kind of like, all right, go ahead and keep developing for another year and then come over to us. That is the only way I can see how we can get Allende without him being a DP player for us. But as of right now, these are the 5 players from our MLS starting 11 that will be starting on opening day.
I think the disrespect that you have for Ian Frey is just astronomically terrible. Sean Callahan pointing it out right now, just calling you out. I don't know. Ian Frey literally has beat 3 players for right back. Muda has to beat him out 1,000%. Don't let this guy Danny dictate the starting 11. Not putting Ian Frey. You're already putting him on the bench, Danny. Are you out of your mind? This guy has beaten 74 right backs for that position, and you already hit him on the bench. Shame on you. Shame. Shame on you.
I don't know if you remember, but just a couple of weeks
Shame.
ago, I said I had a hot take, and then some people said that it's not really a hot take. And I said Mura is going to start, but by the end of the year, Ian Frey will be the right back. That's what I said. But I do believe that Mura's going to come, and he will be the starter. Now, Frey's going to have to beat him out, and I think he can. But Mura is 100% going to be the starter, man.
Steve Munoz, you are killing me, my guy.
Where was it
we're
that
already
Mura...
giving this guy the position? This guy is a Lujan 3.0.
You don't know that.
Come on.
He's going to start. He's going to start. Now,
guy,
is he going to keep it? I don't know. Because I do believe in Ian Frey, and I really do believe Ian Frey is that good that he can win it back if Mura underperforms. If Mura's as good as people think he is, then maybe he'll keep the job. I don't know. We'll see. But I 100% believe that Mura will be the starter to start the year. Wasn't he linked to Racing, and he ended up choosing us? No way that he chooses us over Racing if he has a chance without like being promised that he'd be the starter. No way.
Listen, Gonzalo Lujan played on an Argentine team, okay, San Lorenzo, for 4 years. Then he came over here, tried to get the starting position, got blown out. Ian Frey robbed it of the starter and the backup, which are two guys that have played in the Argentine league. He dominated them.
Just because you play in the Argentine league doesn't mean you're good.
Hold on. Then Facundo Mura, this other Swiss Army knife. Okay.
What was the team that you said Lujan played for?
Also, he played for San Lorenzo.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, because I don't follow the Argentine league, but my understanding is that Racing is much better than San Lorenzo.
Yes, so Racing is better than San Lorenzo. I haven't done that much research because maybe San Lorenzo's been like up there or whatever. But guess what? Facundo Mura playing in Racing. Oh my God, you played for Racing. Well, 3 years? What'd you do, buddy? 110 appearances. Okay, get out. You're gonna come on here. You think you're gonna take that start? You think you're gonna take that starting role from our boy Ian Frey? You're out of your mind, buddy. You're done. This guy's you're starting him already. You're starting him. Who is this guy? This guy's Coco Jean on defense. Are you gonna give him the captain's armband too?
Did Ian Frey have that?
Racing is top club? I don't think so. I know a lot of Argentines, and they're always talking about what's these other clubs? Fucking Boca and hold on. Yeah, River Plate. Like that's like the number one. No, River Plate, River, and the beef that they have with some. Get out of here, guys. Are you serious? Are you guys serious? We're just handing this position over to him.
Oh, just real quick. I want to go back to what is it that I start with players? Because somebody said that they stopped watching us because I start crap with players. I don't know what the hell he's talking about. Cristiano grew up. All right, so
Ian Frey is on a mission. He is gunning people down. It is a wrap for anybody you bring at right back position.
But that's fine.
Here in pink, they're done.
I'm not disagreeing with you. What I'm telling you is that he's going to have to win that job back because there's no way that this guy Mura came to this league without being promised a starting job. Now he's going to have to keep it, but there's no way that he's not going to be the starter, man.
You have no idea. This is Stancy. This is not fake outrage. The moment that I heard about this guy Mura, I said, get him out. And then now he's confirmed. I don't want to see that guy anywhere near the field.
It wasn't officially confirmed by Inter Miami.
No, it was.
Come on, man.
It was. Hold on, bro. Hold on.
No, wait. No, I'm saying it was not confirmed that he's going to be the starter, right? They're not going to come on. But he's not going to come here if he's not starting.
But okay, you don't know the contract that they gave him.
Rodrigo De Paul. I'm not saying that he's in the same level of Rodrigo De Paul, but Rodrigo De Paul comes here. You don't think automatically 100% Yannick Bright's losing his job?
But dude, at the end of the day, he almost didn't outperform Yannick Bright.
Like, but did he lose his job? But did he lose his job?
Yeah, he lost his job because
Okay, well, there's levels to
Who the
this.
hell's
Well,
this
there's levels to this.
Facundo Mura?
That's fine.
Another
What I'm telling you,
Facundo on this team.
I'm telling you that
You're gonna take
there's
another
levels to this.
Facundo? Hopefully,
Yeah.
he doesn't suffer the Facundo phase, gets his knee blown out or whatever.
What are you even talking about right now?
Like all I'm saying is I'm done. I'm done with people trying to come in and take the right back position. I'm done with that. I'm done.
All right. So again, this is the
Army
11.
This guy's a nobody.
This is what we
Please.
have at the moment, returning from our starting 11 from the final. Now, when we start filling this in, let's start with Baltasar Rodriguez. No, actually, before we start with the Baltasar Rodriguez, I think the biggest loss, obviously, Jordi Alba and Sergio Busquets. Now, at the moment, because I have heard rumblings about a replacement for Sergio Busquets at that CDM position. So who is going to fill in that spot for Sergio Busquets? Technically, Rodrigo de Paul, right? But I think Rodrigo de Paul is better suited to play a box-to-box role. So I think he'll stay where he was last year. So who do I think is going to fill that spot? Tell me if you think I'm wrong. I think Yannick Bright fills in that CDM role, but he'll be a true CDM. He won't be creating like Sergio Busquets was from that area, from deep in the back of the midfield. But Rodrigo de Paul is not going to have that responsibility as a box-to-box 8. And I think that Yannick Bright kind of shores up our defense a little more than Sergio Busquets did.
I mean, look at this. Muda's going to be moved to midfield. Get out of here, SPM. Listen, Yannick Bright is going to get that position, and I'm okay with that because I don't want him to be this creator. Even though he did get better, he progressed, right, in that sense. But yeah, I know that he's a stopper. He's a gate back there, and I don't mind him there. So as long as we can be able to.
I'm going to tell you something. There's no guarantee that Yannick Bright's going to be the starter either. But I mean, we'll leave it at that because I see this name keep getting thrown around. And if this name really finds its way to Miami, there's no way Yannick Bright starting.
I mean, the disrespect, you came on here and you're locked and cocked, my guy.
I'm a fan of all these players. I want Yannick Bright to start. But
you don't want that.
I'm talking to you in facts. That's all I'm telling you. I'm not telling you what I want. I'm telling you what's going to happen.
Where's the Argentine flag behind you? Where is it? Are you hiding it because World Cup's coming?
I promise you that the only thing that you'll find behind me is not Argentine. Okay?
No, because you love David Ayala, you love Facundo Mura, you love Facundo
I'm telling you what's going to happen if these players end up here. I'm telling you, if these players end up on this team, they're going to be starters. And then, Danny, did you get to talk to the guy from the last pod? He was throwing all these names out. Is he legit? I asked him on the show. You guys heard me. I asked him to send me a DM. He did not. He disappeared. I was hoping he might be here on the live. He's not here as far as I know, unless he's just not commenting. But if he's throwing out these names and these names are at all accurate, I'm telling you that some of these players are going to be starters. That's all I'm saying. But anyway, as of right now, with the team that we currently have that has been currently announced, the current CDM is Yannick Bright, in my opinion. And I think that defensively, that is good. Rodrigo de Paul will be a box-to-box 8. Now, who's going to be running with Rodrigo de Paul in that 8 role? Now, Baltasar Rodriguez probably isn't coming back. So, go ahead.
I would love, if we're looking at the roster right now, I would love, give me Segovia there. Because that's like his natural spot, right? Mm-hmm. We kept on throwing him at the wing. It just wasn't working. It wasn't effective. And he is a more advancing sort of midfielder, right? Sean is calling it out right here. Again, I as far as Bright, I'm okay with him playing a little bit more back. But if you're talking about in terms of making the push and being offensively sound from the middle, I think Segovia is the perfect fit for that.
In this midfield, we have 2 creators with Rodrigo de Paul and Segovia. We have 2 players that will get back and defend in Segovia and de Paul. And I also think that Bright is, like I said, defensively, he's one of the better central defensive midfielders when it comes to defending, cutting off passes. He was top 2 or 3 in the league in 2024 when he was starting a lot in interceptions per 90 minutes. Like, he is a good defending midfielder. So
can I
as of right now,
go ahead.
when you look at this squad, if we stick with the 4-3-3 and you look at the midfield and you look at the forwards, I'm feeling pretty good about this squad right now.
I don't know about all that because again, there was a roller coaster, complete roller coaster. I don't know what to expect from him next year.
And
I want to
look who just showed up.
Can I bring a? All right, look, Luis Barrios, welcome in, my friend. This will be the order coming. He's already called. He just came in. He's down for business. He's laying down the gauntlet. Says this will be the order coming. Mikhail, Dane, Ayala, and Blackman all coming. Ink it, guys.
Look, 2 years ago we had Arsenal guy. We've had a lot of guys. We had Fridge guy. We had Arsenal guy. We had Badge guy. Luis, you are officially reporter guy. You are reporter guy. Luis Barrios, aka reporter guy, is coming through with the scoop. And look, he is digging his heels in. Like,
no,
Luis, I told you to send me a DM. You didn't, so I wasn't sure if you were just trolling and then disappeared. And so let's see.
The streets. I want to bring up a comment here.
Which this one?
What happened? No, I wasn't going to bring up that one.
Fridge guy,
yes.
mark. Yes, that's an OG reference from back in 2023. That was a fun time.
Big Nicety is saying a good comment. If someone can beat out Frey or Bright, that's only a positive for us. Both are very good MLS starters. Listen,
very good.
I completely agree. And that is an awesome comment. I completely agree because if Frey and Bright, who have been super effective in their position, and they get beat out, that's fine. Just don't give me a Lujan or a Weigand. That's not going to do what Bright does. And then don't give me the DePaul business and say, oh, because he's DePaul, we got to give him the position, even though he played like garbage for like 6-7 games. Don't do that to me either. Because then you're
go ahead. I'm going to reach out to my connects in Portland and Vancouver because I'm going to try to get to the bottom.
You can do all that, but this guy David Ayala, I just looked him up right now. Right, he played for Portland Timbers, 21 appearances, and then Portland Timbers 2. He had 2 appearances in the last 3 years. Danny,
he's good,
do you even know? Good. Do you even know if he's currently playing soccer right now, or is he selling real estate in Portland, Oregon?
Dude, he's good. I'm telling you.
I look. You're telling me he's good. Wikipedia is telling me he hasn't played soccer in 3 years. That's what Wikipedia said. And look, I'm not going deep into the David Ayala deal here. Oh, look, Danny, it's your favorite. He played for Estudiantes, a team in Argentina. So we're going to take another guy from Argentina. Here we go. Facundo Farias 5.0. What are we doing here, Danny? What are we doing here? Are we trying to build like a club that's going to move forward at some point? Like, my cat is back here wondering what the hell's happening with Inter Miami picking up these Facundos and these Ayalas. This guy Ayala hasn't played in forever.
All right.
Okay.
Well,
this guy Mike V says he's been bagging groceries at Trader Joe's.
I don't want to hang on. I don't want to hang on to something that's hypothetical. So let's move on.
Soccer Daddy's saying Ayala scouting reports are fire. Show me the fire, bro.
I'm telling you, he's good. I'm telling you, if he ends up here, he's going to be starting. That's what I'm telling you. But again, those are hypotheticals. Shout out to Luis. I'm not reporter guy. I am not discounting you because I don't know. This is the first time you ever kind of just jump on with those random names on here, and I feel like you're digging your heels in, saying that I owe you a beer on Friday. So we'll see. And I'm just currently reaching out to
David Ayala.
I'm reaching out to some people to see what they
common
say.
Card.
Okay, now tell me what you made me do it. I didn't want to do it. Now tell me what Yannick Bright's card is.
Let's not do all that. All right, we're looking at Ayala right now. Okay.
All right. So we have our top 6 right there. We have our 3 in the midfield. We have 3 forwards. We have Falcon as the only defender that is scheduled to come back at the moment. at the moment for our starting day lineup, our kickoff. Now, next to him, what was the first defender that we kind of announced this offseason? We had Reguilón. Now, we know that he is supposed to kind of fill in for Jordi Alba.
Yeah.
So, how are we feeling about Reguilón?
I mean, I think he is touted as a good player, a great player, right? Like he has good skill. Yeah, defensively he's good, and you know, a lot of people here in the chat are a lot more well versed in European football. So like they've seen him, and there's a lot of people that love Reguilón, which I'm okay with it, right? It's hard to replace such a great player like Jordi Alba. And the difference, I think, and I want to mention this, the difference between replacing a Jordi Alba and a Busquets is that Jordi Alba at times lives on an island. Busquets had others that can be able to work with him in front and behind, that can be able to help him in certain ways to make his game better, right? So I think with Jordi Alba and the left back position, it's harder to fill that. And I think we got a pretty good replacement for it.
In the attack, he won't be as dynamic as Jordi Alba, obviously. Now, if you remember during the playoffs, Jordi Alba, I don't want to say he took a step back, but he wasn't pushing as high as consistently because he now has Silbetti kind of creating on that left side. If we keep this same formation and we have Silbetti there on the left side, I think that this works perfectly because Reguilón's supposed to be a good defender on the left side. He won't have the responsibilities that Jordi Alba had for so long on this team, where there was in 2024, 70% of our buildup was up that left side with Jordi Alba. 2025, it took a step back. And I think that if we have Silbetti creating on the left side, I think that Reguilón won't have that responsibility. And defensively, I don't know. I haven't seen him play as much as some other people may have. But defensively, he's supposed to be good. So I think that that's a plus. So I think we are okay on that avenue as far as Reguilón.
Yes.
Now, after Reguilón, we had an announcement for our right back.
This is
Look
at what you're doing. Look at what you're doing. Like, look at what you're doing. You're already inserting him. Like, you need to put an asterisk around him and just put Ian Frey like as a shadow character behind his shoulder, because he's losing that job in a couple weeks. He's losing.
Okay, he might, but Mura is going to start.
Go ahead and tell everybody about this guy, Mura. Go ahead and tell him.
I have nothing to tell him. I just know that he was.
Look, I'll tell you about him.
Go ahead.
He played for Estudiantes for 3 years. After that, they told him to kick rocks. They loaned him out to Cologne. After Cologne, he went over to Racing. Okay, everybody knows Racing. He's been there for 3 years. What have you done, buddy? Haven't done squat. Okay, and now he's with Inter Miami. Another person that's going to come in, touted as this whole deal here. Okay, and Ian Frey's going to steal your job, my guy. Yeah, look, I haven't seen him play yet. I don't know who this guy is. This guy could come punch me in the face right now. I won't even know who he is.
Soccer Daddy said you might have to write a new apology letter. Chris isn't good for that. Diego Gomez's apology letter was supposed to be 2 years ago. We still haven't seen it. New intro is supposed to be today. We still haven't gotten it. Like, don't bet on Chris and being timely.
Listen, I am timely with things, but I like to make sure I get them. I get it perfect, okay? And I'm not going to deal with this. Listen, there's no apology letter necessary. This guy, Facundo Mura, he's going to last half the season, and he's out of here.
Okay. So, defensively, we have Reguilón, we have Mura.
Wait, hold on. And I have a question. Because if you're going to be lacking on the left side, the attack, because no more Jordi Alba, and we have more of a defender on the left back, wouldn't it be more smart? Wouldn't it be more intelligent to put an attacking right back instead of having this guy Facundo Mura, who apparently is like this defensive juggernaut now? So now we're gonna have
Mura can create.
So, you know what they said? They said that about Gonzalo Lujan. That's what they said about him.
Did they?
He can create. Oh yeah, they said that all over.
I remember that.
Oh my goodness, I remember. Oh, he's gonna destroy. Oh my god, all this stuff about Gonzalo Lujan. This guy was the worst investment of money ever. And yes, my ninja, I do judge by FIFA cards.
All right. So we have our fullbacks, Region, and we have Mura. Okay. That's what it looks like it might be, right? In a hypothetical world, because those starting jobs are not declared yet.
You've been talking a lot this last week. Let me say something here, Danny. Soccer Daddy is saying
These
Ben
shows are a
Krem
lot
was
easier
Chris's
without you here. I'm just running through things.
Ben Krem was Chris's favorite once. Listen, I just want to be. I want to put this out there. In the midfield, I always preferred David Ruiz over Ben Krem. So let's just get that out there, Soccer Daddy. Okay. And you know what, Stancy? I do have Lujan trauma. When Lujan cost us almost $1 million to do absolutely jack.
That is true.
But he's still on the bill. We still got to foot the bill. We got to pay him. And now you're going to bring another guy that's his exact clone replica.
You don't know that.
I don't know what to tell you. Okay, keep going. Go. Take the show. Where are we going next? Center back? Who are you going to give it to? We just got Christoph back?
No, we have Mikhail from Palmeiras.
Yeah, Mikhail.
Mikhail from Palmeiras. Supposedly he will be announced at some point this week. And we're getting him from Palmeiras. Oh, no, wait. My fault. I went Sinclair first. Did I skip him?
Oh,
I
think
what?
you did skip Sinclair.
Oh, well. Mikhail is gone. Well, we'll go Sinclair. Dane Sinclair was officially announced yesterday. He is the goalie of the year last year. He saved 44% of his penalty kicks. So that's, Chris talks about Rocco Blacco being a good penalty saver. Dane Sinclair, 44% of the penalty kicks taken, he saves, which is a crazy number. He is the starting goalkeeper for the Canadian team, national team, and he has a bit of an attitude on him, which is going to be really fun. I saw an interview where he says we are the villains of the league. So he's already accepted that. He understands what he's walking into. He understands that this team needs to not just win games, they need to win trophies. And he also understands that the Champions Cup is the goal. Just listening to that interview, I kind of like his personality. And I don't like player interviews, but watching that interview, I was like, ooh, I wouldn't mind having this guy on the show because he seems like he's entertaining. But there's no way to reach out to him. I tried. He's like cut off the world. But Dane Sinclair, the new goalkeeper, Rocco Blacco came. It's going to be the backup. So when you have the MLS Cup winning goalie being now your backup, you are in great shape. And I'm feeling pretty good at goalkeeper right now.
The district, you and the chat are just literally you woke up with wanting violence today with this disrespect. Rocco Blacco had his Linsanity run, says, oh yeah, Mr. Krabs. How dare you disrespect Linsanity, first of all. Second of all, I just want to mention something here. If it wasn't for the fact that Dane Sinclair is like the goalie of the year, first of all, I loved doing the goalie blocks this past season because St. Clair was like on every single one, blocking everything. And I thought there were two goalies that would be perfect for Inter Miami, him and Sean Johnson. And they both were on the market. And luckily, we were able to get one of the two. I'm perfectly okay with having Rocco as the backup because if St. Clair slips up once, Rocco Blacco is coming.
Yeah, I don't know about that. But Dane Sinclair, a great keeper. And I think that we have definitely, because I felt like that was a question mark last year. Nobody really felt comfortable with Ustari. A lot of people hated on Drake, and he never really played. And then Rocco Blacco was always a question mark, even though he had a good end of the year. But I felt like this is the first time in a while that we feel like we solidified that position. So I feel really good with Dane Sinclair. And then finally, Mikhail joined the squad. And he is from Palmeiras, formerly of Houston. Houston that allowed only 38 goals, I believe it was, the year prior, which was the second best defensive team in the league. So good that they made it to the playoffs. I think they made it to the second round, the Houston Dynamo. And he was the star of that defense. The defense took a huge step back once he left last year. Now, he didn't find his footing in Palmeiras, but Palmeiras is the top flight club in Brazil, which is probably the best league in this side of the world. But he is heading on his way back. And my favorite thing about Mikhail is that, for example, Falcon ended up being really good, but it took him a while to adjust. and he became good once he adjusted.
Mhm.
And it takes players sometimes a little bit to adjust to this league, whether it be the physicality and then just the constant counterattacking that you find in this league. But Mikael already has that experience. So not only is he coming as a good player, coming from a big squad, but he already has the experience. And I think that that's my favorite thing of bringing Mikael into this team, is that we don't need him to adjust to the league because he's already played here for 2.5 years. He already knows the speed. He knows the physicality. He knows what it looks like. He knows what it takes. He knows the travel. I'm really happy with that Mikael signing. And I think that our defense is looking really good if Mura is really as good as people are saying.
This is a good question. By LL Babuino.
Yes.
Mikael is a left center back. I guess like a left-footed center back.
Yeah, he is a left-footed center back. He is good on the ball. He's a good one-on-one defender. He's good. He has good recovery speed, and supposedly he's a very accurate passer also, which with the way teams sometimes press us is very good because we like to play out of the back.
David Martinez, because David Martinez was a great passer with us, and he was left-footed. If he would have stayed healthy, I think he would have had a pretty good time with the team. I like Mikael. There's bona fides there. There's history. We've seen it, and not just with the MLS, but like you've seen that he's putting in work, and he's been playing with Palmeiras. Like he is a pretty important piece to that team. That's the difference between him and these other Joe Schmoes that you want to bring onto this team, like Facundo Mura. Like, no, I was going to ask you, do you think that Chelo Weigand was short for right back position for right back?
I don't think you need to be taught to play right back position.
Okay. Do you think that Gonzalo Lujan was short?
Again, you don't need to be taught to be a right back.
Okay, I'm setting you up, buddy. They both, well, Lujan's 6 feet. Chelo Weigand's 5'9". You want to know how tall this guy is, Facundo Mura? Huh? Want to see how tall this guy is? He's like 5'7", 5'6".
Again, you don't need to be taught to be a fullback.
Listen, I'm just giving you the stats.
But you said you're setting me up. Setting me up for what? I just told you you don't need to be taught to play that position.
Setting you up to you're starting this guy. Can't believe you.
And I just checked. And Mikael did not play in the game that we played against them against Palmeiras. He was not a starter. That's why he ended up leaving Palmeiras, because he just couldn't crack the starting 11 Palmeiras. But again, that's one of the top teams in the league, and that's a top flight league in this side of the world. So, all right, go ahead.
Mike V saying Facundo Mura is almost as tall as Peter Dinklage. Steve Munoz is saying, why is Chris talking about soccer like it was basketball? I'm not talking about it like if it was basketball, but everybody knew that when Ian Frey was on the pitch, he was a potential target for corners and for headers. This guy Facundo Mura is but not a target.
But Mikael is tall. So if what you're looking for is length and height, Mikael now brings it to you, because we wanted it as a center back. We had short center backs. We knew that. But Mikael now, he's 6'3", 185 pounds. Hey, Danny and Chris, are you guys doing MLS Battered Fans? Yes, we're doing that tonight at 10 o'clock. After the show, we are going to be doing Battered MLS Fans now. And at 10:30, because this should be a short MLS show. We're just talking about the few news that broke this week. At around 10:30, 10:35, we're doing Las Garzas with Solana and Xavier. So you guys can jump on, because we're going to be talking more Inter Miami and Garzas tonight. And Chris gave the grains to Solana for the intro for Spanish. So Solana came up with an intro for the Spanish show. So you might want to check that out also.
And this can actually be a pretty crazy wrinkle here. SPM saying Frey is going to be a center back.
Well, and look, I feel like we've gone 45 minutes, and I hate doing shows like this where we go for this long, and I feel like we've said absolutely nothing. Because I really do think that we've gone 45 minutes and we've said nothing. Danny, who's the last DP? What I think, and and shout out to Lewis, because whether Lewis is accurate or not, he did say something that I had forgotten about, and he reminded me of, is that although you are allowed to have 3 DP spots, you can change your designation. At the moment, we only have 2 DPs. We have Messi and DePaul. Now, there are no big names coming to this league during this transfer window. I'm telling you, I've been saying it for over a month now. There's no big names that are going to come to this league during this transfer window, for the sole fact that they want to make it to their nation's team for the World Cup, and they can't risk coming to a league that is not looked as a top flight league before the World Cup. So don't bet on any big names coming to this league during this transfer window. If we get a third DP, which I think we will, it'll be during the summer. So at the moment, we have 2 DPs, but we don't have to just let that spot go to waste. What MLS allows you to do, it allows you to choose between 2 designations. You could either have 3 DPs and 3 U22s, or you can have 2 DPs and 4 U22s, which is the route that they will probably take. We have Messi and DePaul as our DPs, and our 3 U22s at the moment are Segovia, Toto Aviles, and Silvetti. Now, I think that Toto Aviles needs to go because we need that spot for a U22. But at the moment, it's going to be very hard shipping him away in the middle of the calendar year for most leagues. It's probably going to be easier to get him off the books in the summertime. But because we can go the 4 U22s 2 DP route, we still have technically an open spot for another U22, which a lot of people are talking about, some kid from Bolivia or something like that. So Toto Aviles will probably be here, I would assume, because it's going to be hard to move him. And if he's not, then we'll probably have 2 U22 spots that are open, which would be great. But I do believe that we still have 1 U22 spot to open. But that's all to say, we probably won't be getting a third DP until the summertime, which in the summertime, you can change your designation from the 4-2 to the 3 U22s and 3 DPs. I hope I didn't just say a lot and confuse people, but that's the best explanation I can give.
Well, I mean, you just said this whole episode, we've been saying a lot of nothing.
That's the most useful info I gave. It took us 40 minutes to go through those 11 positions, and 5 of them were already filled.
It's because you put up a lot of garbage, and Facundo Mura is the biggest eyesore on this whole thing. I mean, what you should have put was like a question mark there.
Danny, what position does the guy from Bolivia play? I don't know too much about him. I just know that he is a winger, which is what we need. We need wingers. But my understanding is that Allende will come back, and that it'll supposedly be announced at some point this week, according to Luis Barrios and some other people. Look, reporter guy right here, potential U22 could be the Bolivian 18-year-old Moises. So there you go.
I mean, we'll have to see how that plays out.
All right, let's see if we can salvage this show in the last 10 minutes, because this was a whole lot of nothing. So the whole point of this episode, 48 minutes into it, was to say, is this team, from what it is right now, without, and shout out to Luis, he said that we're going to get Tristan Blackman, which was the defensive player of the year last year in the MLS. Now, Chris, if we get the goalie of the year last year and the defensive player of the year last year on this team, who's getting benched? Are we going to change to 3 in the back? I don't think so. So what exactly happens there? Is Falcon going to get benched? Is Tristan Blackman, the defensive player of the year, agreeing to come here to be a backup? Like, what do you think's happening here? Is Falcon on his way out and we haven't heard about it yet?
Well, but we haven't really been tied like concretely to Mikhail, right? So like, what if Blackman comes and Mikhail doesn't? No?
No, Mikhail, well, I don't know. Maybe. Somebody just asked, Nancy got fired. What is your opinion? We're going to talk about that on the MLS show. We're going to be talking about the Nancy thing on the MLS show at 10 o'clock.
And let's hold Luis Barrios a little accountable here. Allende staying for less money. Listen, the Allende sweepstakes couldn't be any higher in his whole life right now.
Well, Luis,
There's teams that are bending over backwards for this guy. You think he's going to leave money on the table?
The thing with what Luis is saying is he's saying that he's coming for less money, but his annual salary isn't the problem. The problem is the amount that Celta Vigo is putting as a price to buy him out, which is the 10 million. Because in the MLS, unfortunately, that price tag goes towards the salary, and you have to spread it out throughout the length of the contract. So with that higher price, it would technically be a DP contract no matter what. The only way around it is like we were talking about in the beginning of the episode, where he has to just sign with another team and then be loaned to us. Because the problem is the price tag that Celta Vigo put on him. That's ultimately the problem, because with that price tag in this league, automatically you take up a DP spot, and I don't think that he's worth a DP contract.
No way, dude. There's no way.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think so.
All right. Go ahead, Danny.
No, I was just gonna say, okay, so back to what we were trying to talk about. This roster that you see here on your left-hand side next to Chris, that is what is potentially the starting lineup on February 21st. What do you think of that lineup? Is that lineup potentially better than the one from last year?
I'll tell you, because of the goalkeeper change, this defense, especially with that guy right there, we can afford to have shitty guys like that guy if we have a goalie behind him like that. So I'm okay with that. But like, this guy is going to be a disaster.
Soccer Dad is saying last year was better.
Last year was better. Yes, I agree with that.
Okay. Last year's starting lineup to start the year was Cello, though. Remember, like
but you're talking about like the beginning of the year, or you're talking about like championship?
Just championship. Okay.
Because if you're talking about championship lineup, then I tell you championship roster is better than this.
Okay.
But if you're telling me like starters from last year in the beginning of the season versus now, then I'd say no, we're not.
I'm going to tell you why I think this one's better. Now, I know that Jordi Alba is going to be a huge loss, but with Silbetti contributing the attack, I think that is going to be helpful, because what he gave us in the attack, Silbetti will give us, right? Because a lot of times we had, I mean, in years past, Robert Taylor, last year we had Segovia. Whenever Segovia was on that left side, he disappears like he wasn't playing.
Yeah.
You remember that? It was like we were playing with 10 men in the attack because he wouldn't do anything. Now we have somebody that can contribute in the attack on that left side. So the left back will not have the responsibility of contributing as much offensively. Now he can focus more on the defensive end, which supposedly, again, I'm going based off of what people tell me, Region is that guy. So Region on the left side with the left back, defensively, solid. We have Mikael, which is a proven center back, a great center back in this league, next to Falcon, which is another great MLS center back. I think that this could possibly be the best center back duo in the league. And you know who's backing these guys up? A MLS Cup starting 11 player in Noah Allen. I think that is huge, because your backup is a player that was good enough to be on a starting lineup for the MLS Cup. So I think that not only are we good with them, but we're good with our backup. And if Lewis is correct, defensive player of the year also in the backup role, whatever. And then when I look at the right back situation, we were playing with what? Cello and Ian Frey. We still have Ian Frey, and then we have Mura. So if hypothetically Mura doesn't work out, which everybody seems to think that he's great and he will, but if hypothetically he doesn't work out, at worst you have Ian Frey. I think defensively we are set. We're better at goalkeeper. We're better just in general with Mascherano a year in. I think that in the last 9 games, I don't know if you heard when I was talking about it over the weekend, but in the last 9 games, from the beginning of October to December 6th, when you put the aggregate scores of those 9 games together, we outscored the teams 33-8. We had like 3 or 4 clean sheets. Like, our defense was rocking and rolling, and we are only going to be better now with this defense. And then you move to the midfield. Rodrigo De Paul playing his true position of an 8-8 box-to-box midfielder. I think he's going to do great there. He's going to have more freedom to contribute, and he's going to have Yannick Bright kind of filling in behind him, where he has the liberty to move up. Segovia, does such a great job of connecting with Messi and everybody around him, playing a little more centrally. I think that the midfield is going to be great. And then in the attack, if you have Allende and Silvetti playing vertical, and then you have Messi obviously pulling the strings as the false nine, I think that this team has a real chance of being much better than last year's team. And that's that we still have players to add to this. But just with what I see here, I already think that this team has the capability of doing so much better than last year. And it starts from the top with Mascherano no longer having those growing pains. He now knows he now knows how to work with this team. He knows the travel, everything. He has it on lock. And I think that this team is going to be much, much better.
And I want to mention something, because you also forgot to mention you have Luis Suarez is on the bench according to this roster, right? So like you also have the opportunity of maybe even adding on more goals because of what's on the bench. I understand the point of view that you're bringing up with having these players on the bench, so the worst it can be is what it was last year. But here's the thing that I kind of want you to understand is, are you willing to sacrifice the first 4 to 6 games of the beginning of the season that we're on the road for, losing or tying, just so that way people like Mikael and Facundo Mura can cook? Because that's essentially what
you're asking.
So again, you're saying that we're better now because whatever we had starting last year is going to be on the bench. So that would be our worst, right?
Well, I'm talking about for Frey and Noah Allen. That's it.
Yeah. Now here's but the same thing goes with, like, for example, Luis Suarez. Luis Suarez is on the bench, right? You still have the capability of having.
I'm better about that, yeah.
But now my question is, you have these new people in, and they have to acclimate. We're going to hope to have Mikael and to have Facundo Mura do good in the beginning of the season. Are you willing to sacrifice 4 to 6 games of them cooking, right? Of them acclimating in order to get to that point, to be able to see if they work out or not? It would be, like I said, this would be a Gonzalo Lujan transition once again.
What would the alternate be?
The alternate would be, for example, Ian Frey starts and Mura, you got to beat him out.
And then when he beats and when he beats him out, then he has to adjust. Eventually, he has to play to adjust.
No, because the thing is, you're beating him out because you're going to come in for 20 minutes, you play great. Then you come in for 30 minutes, you play great. Like, you're starting to acclimate yourself into the team instead of getting.
Why do you hate change so much?
It's not just about the change.
You hate change. You hate change.
Listen. I like when I see something working out, it needs to stay working out. Why fix something that's not broken? Here you are throwing Facundo Mura in the same position as Ian Frey, who Ian Frey has beaten half of Argentina for that position. You're gonna sacrifice the beginning of the season to let Facundo Mura
sacrificing cook. Anything.
Yes, you are. Because what if we lose or tie?
You think that we're going to lose or tie
and we're like in 10th place, and we're in 10th place because you wanted Facundo Mura to cook, and then it's Gonzalo Lujan 3.0 all over again. He's going to be spitting in cycles on defense. He's going to be on the highlight package that we put together where we're getting scored on like crazy.
Did we lose a bunch of games to start this year last year because Cello was starting?
Look, all I'm saying is that it wasn't the best. Cello starting and Lujan was starting, and it wasn't the best.
I agree, but I don't think that we're going to necessarily lose games because all of a sudden you put Mura. Supposedly Mura's supposed to be good.
We lost those games. We got blown out some of those games, Danny. I don't know if I need to remind you, but we got blown out. And I can go back and show you all those videos that we looked at. We did a mid-season breakdown of how we were getting scored on. We counted how many goals each defender allowed.
Look, according to reporter guy, aka Luis Barrios, Mura's coming off the bench also. From what Luis is saying, okay, and shout out to Luis again. He's saying that Tristan Blackman, Defensive Player of the Year in the MLS last year, is not only coming to Inter Miami, but he's coming to be the right back.
Lewis, you're not just
Are you
reporter
okay?
guy.
No, are you okay with him being the starter over Ian Frey since he was Defensive Player of the Year last year?
Look, that's a different discussion for a different day. That's a radio tease for all of you guys.
Well, hopefully, if
Okay.
Lewis is on something, we got something cooking this week because we're gonna have a lot of interesting topics to talk about. Luis, you have until Friday because you said Friday. Friday is when I'm gonna owe you that beer. So we'll see. Monday's basically over already. You got Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. So let's see.
Is this fair? Is this fair? Gene Rome is saying so excited to see Chris concede the whole season on the first 3 games. That's what Danny's doing. Look at the starting lineup he just put. This guy for Godomura starting. He just sacrificed the whole quarter of the season. The whole time that we're away from home. We're gonna start the game on the 4th of April, Miami Freedom Park, with no wins.
If you guys are new to the channel, just understand that if for some reason we don't start off very well, let's say hypothetically we lose to LAFC on February 21st in LA,
it's all Danny's fault.
Chris is going to absolutely just say we're cooked. That's it. That's it. No trophies
We're
this
done.
year. No trophies.
We'd be done.
All right. Well, I don't think we even addressed the topic, but we are out of time because it's already 10 o'clock. So real quick, Chris, will this team and chat just put the year? Which team at the moment, without reporter guys, Tristan Blackman and Ayala and Moises and all that other stuff, with what you see on the screen, would you say 2025 is better or at the moment 2026? Because I'm willing to go, I think 2026 is looking much better. And that's without Jordi Alba and Busquets, which I know are huge losses that are almost impossible to make up. But the way the defense is looking, the way the goalkeeper is looking, and Yannick Bright helping on defensively, I'm with 2026. Chris, you going 2025?
You stole my heart, soccer daddy. Okay,
Look,
2025.
2025, Betty 2025, 2026. You got Amy 2026, the Bomb 2026. We got El Messi 2026.
Do this poll right now, Danny.
It takes too long, man. We're trying to close this show out.
Now. Do it right now. Do it right now. Right now. Danny, do a poll. Was this a fun show or no? You need to do that right now.
What?
You need to do it right now.
That's the poll you want me to do?
If you don't do it, I'm just gonna stay here live, just quiet for another 30 minutes. Or I'm just gonna talk about Facundo Mura and how bad he is. Look, yes. Do it right now. Do it right now. Do you guys want a poll? Yes or no? Do you guys want a poll?
What was the poll?
Was this, hold on, let me go back because now I got to go back. I got to find the comment here. It was Italia one world, one goal. Poll of the night. Was this a fun show or no?
This was a horrible show. It's early contender for freaking worst episode of the year, and we're only on January 5th.
Everybody is counting. Everybody's saying yes. There's only a couple notes.
I already put up the poll.
Look at this. Sean Callahan with the comment of the night. Danny just gaslighting Chris the whole episode. Yeah, we're talking about anything.
I didn't gaslight anything. I'm just telling him what I think is going to happen.
It's such a terrible show, Chris. You're going against what I'm saying. I love Facundo Mura.
All right. So, at the moment, we are at 81% saying yes. So there you go, Chris. 79% saying yes.
Oh my God, I love Facundo Mura. He's the best defender I've ever seen in my whole life. Oh my God, I can't wait to see him in the pink and black jersey. Oh my God.
I apologize for such a crappy show today. This guy came back in full form in 2026. He saw me talking to myself for like 3 or 4 episodes, and he decided I'm going to jump on here and just talk a bunch of crap for an hour because I've missed out on talking for a couple days. We'll be back on Wednesday night, unless some crazy news happens tomorrow, or if Mr. Reporter guy is accurate and some news breaks tomorrow. Maybe we'll be back tomorrow. But if nothing crazy happens tomorrow, we'll be back Wednesday night. And again, if you want to join us, do a new poll on Tristan coming to. I am Luis. I'm sorry, I can't. I'm trying to start the MLS show. We're supposed to start at 10:05, and it's already 10:11. Jesus Christ, Chris, we're already 6 minutes late for the other show.
It's your fault because you love Facundo Nomura. What's his jersey number? That's probably how many minutes we've done so far.
All right. So again, we'll be battered MLS fans in a couple minutes, and then we'll be doing Las Garzas at probably later than 10:35 at this point because we already got pushed back so much because of Chris's dumbass. If you're listening on audio, appreciate you listening to the end. If you're watching on YouTube, thank you.
Number
Like
34.
subscribe.
Like you're not cool, bro.
And
with a weird ass.
Shout out to Reporter Guy for giving us so much stuff to talk about because Luis, whether you're on the money or not, you've made the last 2 days interesting on the show. I'll tell you that much. But yes, again, news breaks. We'll be back tomorrow. If no news breaks, we'll be back on Wednesday night. So look out for that. MLS fans, in a couple minutes, make sure you join us for that. We'll be talking Nancy and all the other news. And then Las Garzas, we'll be having the same conversation. Luckily, Chris doesn't like talking in Spanish as much.
This guy looks like Johnny Bravo.
All right, until the next one, have a good one.
What a disaster this